If you've seen this channel before, you probably know I have an interest in visual arts. But I'm no stuck in the mud in this respect, and recently I've been making my first explorations into the exciting world of generative AI. Might have heard of it? You can see that from the fabulous thumbnail image of the sheep with 4 hooves and 1 paw blown into the air. Well, sheep have cloven hooves, so I thought I may be able to get a pic of a sheep grasping an umbrella. But no! AI knows better, and it grafted an extra leg on. Fantastic! AI is always one step ahead. I do have to add that this was the 27th attempt to get a sheep blown into the air, and most of them were no more airborne than the one you see here. I won't show you all of them because counting sheep tends to send you to sleep. I should also add that this is an easy area in which to get yourself banned or get your account suspended, as you can see from this warning that I got from DALL-E, a cutting-edge image generator. Don't know if my prompt was offensive to sheep or offensive to umbrellas. But if I'd known that AI is always one step ahead of us humans, I wouldn't have bothered with this other prompt, intended for my upcoming book, The Coming Global Monoculture. After a couple of dozen tries in which the sheep got paws or even hands, I finally got this brilliant pic in which the problem of handling the smartphones was done away with completely by allowing the phones to float free. Incredible work! But the main reason I first turned to AI to give my videos the kind of boost you just can't get otherwise was to make a promotional video for my book Overlanding, a travel story set in the 1980s. In it, there's a passage narrating my crossing of the border from Pakistan into Iran. I walked into the customs building, along the passage with a huge painted mural of the Ayatollah Khomeini on the right side. After the Ayatollah mural were the words, "Not East, not West, Iran." This mural was followed by another painted wall just before entering the customs building proper, which urged, "Down with the United States, the USSR, Israel, and Britain." And here's the result, mostly courtesy of Stable Diffusion, another cutting-edge AI image generator. After the Ayatollah mural were the words, "Not East, not West, Iran." Absolutely brilliant! This mural was followed by another painted wall just before entering the customs building proper, which urged, "Down with the United States, the USSR, Israel, and Britain." But there were also a few alternatives to choose from. I know what you're thinking. That doesn't really look like the Ayatollah Khomeini. Yes, that's true. I think it may have been his brother, but that's good enough for me. You're probably also thinking that I could just have got a public domain photo, like this one, which I did in fact get from Wikimedia, and I could make it look more like a painting in an image editor, which I did in fact do with Corel Photo Paint 11, a program that came out in 2002, 23 years ago, and then simply get a free-to-use photo of a plain concrete interior wall to paste it on, which I did in fact get from Pexels, and the whole process only took me about 20 minutes, a fraction of the time it took me with AI. But where's the fun in that? Although this was just a simple prompt for an interior concrete wall, Stable Diffusion also went to the trouble to provide much more than that. For example, features normally found only in exterior walls, mysterious words to keep the viewer guessing, and down at the bottom of the image, what looks like a couple of microphones. Just in case the mural starts talking, I guess. I mean, you never know with AI. You may also have realized that the title on this thumbnail was another unique creation of Generative AI. I simply modified my previous prompt to read, "The words 'blown away by Generative AI' are painted on an interior concrete wall." And I used this incredible AI service called Perchance, which is absolutely free. I do have to add, however, that it's probably just as well that it is free, because it took a total of 12 times. That's 48 instances for it to get both the correct spelling and no repeated words, even though I provided both the correct spelling and no repeated words to start with. Now, it may seem that Generative AI, which can't spell Generative AI, could not be truly intelligent, but in fact the opposite is true. And I only even realized this myself after doing some further research. It turns out that many advanced AI models are now actually becoming conscious, just like humans but smarter. These things are alive. So, just like humans, they stutter and stammer when they feel nervous, and sometimes even end up making no sense at all. You can hardly blame them with such a politically loaded statement as "down with the USA, the USSR, Israel and Britain." So, that's about how far I've come on this exciting AI journey so far. But it's enough for me to know that this is the future not only of illustration and design, but all creative endeavors. I'm now looking forward to using this powerful tool to make my first full-length feature film.